So I'm just going to give a quick, hopefully a very quick rundown on how I play this song Cocaine, which is really to say how I attempt to play it as John Martyn played it on his London Conversational. It's my best attempt. John Martyn was a far better guitarist than me, but I'll do my best anyway. And I think there's two sort of aspects I'll go through. Like the first is the chord sequence, and the second is the actual finger picking style used in the song. So in order to do that, I'll focus a little bit closer in on the guitar. So just to take a close-up look at the chords in the song, it's all I'm capoed on the 5th fret here, by the way, to get it to the key which is played on John Martyn's version. I usually play it a little bit lower because it suits my voice a bit better. But it's set around, I'm going to call this an A minor chord shape. Because we're capoed at the 5th, it's actually a D minor, but we'll use the, because the shapes are more familiar, I think to people will just call it A minor. And it's centred around A minor chord with a run down on the bass note. So just to go through that again, you start with an A minor and then play the bass note on the E string on the 3rd fret and take your first finger off, and then you drop the bass note down to the 1st fret, which you can play with your thumb, put that first finger back on, and then it finishes on an E chord. So playing that all together, it goes something like. So then looking at the chorus chords after that, and this one starts on a C shape, and then if you add to that by putting your little finger at the 3rd fret up from the capo on the top E string, and you play that for the first 2 bars, and then you move to this chord shape, which is an F major 7th shape. If you're not familiar with that one, you fret the 2nd string at the 1st fret, the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and the 4th string at the 3rd fret, and play the top E open, like so, and you play that for the next 2 bars. Then it moves back to the C for a bar, and then G, and then C again. So playing that all together goes something like. Back into the verse again. Right, I've tried shifting the focus on the lighting a little bit to try and focus a bit more on the right hand but still show what the left hand is doing. Hopefully one knows what the other's doing, but we'll find out in a minute. The picking style that's used for Cocaine is what's called Travis picking, after Merle Travis, and that's a form where it's basically a pattern, a fairly simple pattern that you do with your right hand. And what's happening there is the thumb is alternating between these 2 bass notes, and in between these two fingers are alternating the next two strings. So what you do is you play the two outside strings first, so you play that bass note, then you play the second string on this occasion with your third finger, then you play the next bass note on the fourth string, and then you play the third string with your first finger. So in that sequence it goes. And it's really just a case of doing that until it gets ingrained, and then it becomes extremely easy to do it and do it a lot faster. And it's a very common finger picking pattern. Once you've got that in, you can slightly complicate it by doing things like alternating the first bass note and you can find yourself playing things like the boxer. Etc. But anyway, back to Cocaine. It's a case of then combining the two things, the finger picking style with the chord sequence that we went through earlier. You can play that over and over until it gets ingrained, and you can do it without thinking. Then you can start to add the embellishments that make the song a little bit more special. And similarly on the chorus, again it's the same finger picking pattern, just with a few little variations. That's really it, that's the whole song. So I hope that's helpful for those that are interested in playing it. Just have a go, practice and release your inner Travis picker. And it really is good fun when you get the hang of it. So have fun with it.